On the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show, all kinds of stuff coming on, Samantha. Again, the passing of Kobe Bryant was a big thing yesterday. We'll discuss that, put a little bit of a local spill on that. We will go over the All-A Classic championship games from yesterday, and we'll be joined by the EKU cheerleaders and Coach Hamilton, who is the wife of A-Dub. So it'll be a fun show.
Get them straight.
We are live here at Buffalo Wild Wings. Folks, hang out with us, have a fun time, and share your thoughts with us as well over on our Facebook feed. This is all coming up right now at Buffalo Wild Wings on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Sports fans, the wait is over. For the next hour, sit back and enjoy the ride on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Share your thoughts and opinions on the live feed on WBON TV, and stay tuned for everything you need to know about your local sports teams, college and pro sports as well. The Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show is served up by Buffalo Wild Wings and brought to you in part by the law office of Patrick O'Neill. Now, here are your hosts, Michael Watkins and Samantha Burford.
Samantha, we are live at Buffalo Wild Wings here in the Richmond Center, where a lot of cool stuff going on. Did you know that if the Super Bowl goes into overtime, which is very possible with the two teams that are playing, that Buffalo Wild Wings nationwide, in America and even in Canada
our
going to be giving away
to the north,
a free snack wing the following day. So that's a big deal.
Anyone.
Yeah. So if you're a Wings fan, if you're a Buffalo Wild Wings fan, you may want to root for some overtime in the Super Bowl. They've also got some other things, cool things coming up. You know, Lynn Bowden was over here on the weekend.
He was, and it was packed in here.
He said they had over, I think he said 300 people here just to get autographs and stuff. So.
And he's such a nice guy. Everybody loves him.
Yeah. Well, if you come to Buffalo Wild Wings and watch the Super Bowl on Sunday, they are going to be giving away some Lynn Bowden autograph stuff on Sunday. So at halftime, they're going to be doing some raffles and some different things to kind of show some appreciation to the folks that are here watching the Super Bowl. So they're going to be giving away some Lynn Bowden autograph stuff that day. Also, Tyson Fury and Wilder. It's the big UFC fight coming up in February. They're going to have that fight here at B-Dub's no cover charge, which is a big deal because you go to some of these other places, you're going to have to pay a fee to even get in the restaurant. B-Dubs will not charge you to get in that night.
Especially after the last fight. It lasted, 40 seconds?
Yeah.
So
McGregor and Cowboy.
Don't pay at home. Just come to B-Dubs and watch it here.
Samantha, yesterday was a very sad day for the sports world. I was on the air calling the All-A Classic championship game when we learned about the passing of Kobe Bryant. And, you know, as a sports fan, you remember certain moments. And I will never forget watching the NBA Finals, or the NBA semifinals, the Western Conference Finals back in the day when the Lakers were playing the Portland Trail Blazers. And the alley-oop pass late in the game from Kobe to Shaquille O'Neal, and Shaq dunks it in, runs down the floor. The Lakers end up winning that series, going on to defeat the Indiana Pacers in the NBA Finals. And it's just that moment is what stuck out to me yesterday. I remember, listen, I hated Kobe Bryant. I'm a Celtics fan. And there was a time in the late 2000s where the Celtics and the Lakers, they had kind of renewed that rivalry from the Magic Johnson, Larry Bird days.
Right.
And Kobe was the reason that KG and Paul Pierce and Ray Allen, my favorite NBA player of all time, Rajon Rondo, did not win 2 NBA championships. They beat them one year, and then Kobe the following year returns the favor. So it was very hard to like Kobe Bryant, but as he got older and he started to kind of get injured and his career came to an end, I learned to respect him, and I learned to appreciate, because you're a sports fan. You know, you may hate a player because of the team he was on, or maybe you don't like the guy or the player that he is. But Kobe was,
because you root for a different team.
Exactly, but Kobe was an absolute beast. He was a maniac. He was so much fun to watch, and I'll never forget the final game of his career where he goes out and drops 60 on the Utah Jazz on 50 shots with Shaquille O'Neal in the front row watching him. It was just. To learn of his passing yesterday, to me, it was almost surreal because the way I think of Kobe was an animal and a guy who he just couldn't die. You don't think of people like that. You don't think of stuff like that, but I never would have thought that I would have read that sentence, Kobe Bryant has passed away.
Right.
And when I saw that news yesterday, I was like, there's no way that's real. I mean, the day after LeBron passes him, and then you see these weird things yesterday like Trae Young and Devin Booker combining to score 81 points, and each of them shot 24 shots. And you see all these NBA teams having 24-second violations, and it's just it was a sad day for the sports world, and I get it. Listen, I've seen Facebook posts about police officers and military people that pass away, and they don't get the appreciation that the whole world was giving Kobe Bryant yesterday. And to a point, I understand that. But when you have a person from a small town in Texas or even a small town here in Kentucky that we don't even know who they are, it's hard to feel that connection. Millions of sports fans felt a connection with Kobe Bryant. Whether you liked him or you didn't like him, you understood what kind of a competitor that he was. And it's sad. I mean, again, I never liked him on the court because of who my favorite team was, but man, he was fun to watch play basketball. And I hadn't envisioned him eventually being a coach someday or in the front office role because he was just a basketball guy. It's hard to imagine him not being on the court, but you see him at some of these games, and his daughter, who passed away in the accident as well yesterday, and the other 7 people that passed away. It's just a horrendous tragedy, but it makes you think, listen,
it can happen.
Nobody is invincible. I thought Kobe Bryant was invincible.
Right.
And to see this yesterday, what happened to him and the other people on this helicopter incident, it just makes you think a lot because I would have never.
Especially with the newborn at home.
Yeah, exactly. I just never would have thought that this would happen to Kobe Bryant, the fiercest competitor I've ever seen play basketball. And listen, I wasn't really old enough to really watch Jordan, but I watched Kobe, and to me, I've seen highlights, and the second incarnation of Michael Jordan, I think, was Kobe Bryant. Yeah.
You know, it's going to be one of those things where you're going to remember exactly where you were probably for the rest of your life when you found out that news. Me as well. And you know the difference. You are a huge NBA fan. I am not so much an NBA fan. I mean, I respect him, of course. He is one of those people that you know him by his first name.
Yeah.
You don't even need to know his second name. And it's incredible the impact he's had on everyone in the basketball arena. But I am not just thinking about that, but I'm seeing all the wonderful things. I literally was in Bowling Green yesterday when I found out the news and immediately got on Twitter, like feeling like you, it can't be true.
Yeah.
It can't be. So I immediately got on mass media to find out all about it. And then I listened to the news about Kobe Bryant the entire drive home. And that's a long drive.
Yeah.
That Cumberland Parkway is pretty long and boring. The entire ride back about his life.
Let me just say that TMZ is complete garbage, by the way, for releasing the information that he had passed away before his family even knew.
Yeah.
That is.
And I wonder how they knew that so quickly.
Well, they probably
we were talking about that at home.
They probably got inside people with police officers and everywhere
or
else.
At the airport.
For them to do that before his wife and the rest of his family even knew, is just complete trash. And
because you wonder if his wife immediately got on the phone to try to call him.
Yeah.
Is it true? And no answer.
Well, our Facebook poll today, which is brought to you by the law office of Patrick O'Neill, we'll have Austin pull that up for us.
I'm anxious to get the results.
After the tragic news yesterday of the helicopter crash that took the lives of 9 people, including Kobe Bryant, our poll question is this: should the NBA change their logo to incorporate Kobe Bryant into it? Now, I've seen several different ways for the NBA to kind of honor Kobe and the legend that is Kobe Bryant. And I saw some people say maybe they should have every team should retire his uniform. Or maybe they should have the All-Star game, have one team wear number 8 on all the uniforms, have another team wear number 24 on all the uniforms. So, to me, I like this idea of changing the logo. I don't understand why Jerry West is the logo anyway. I mean, to me, I think Michael Jordan should probably be, but with this...
But a lot of the younger people, they don't look at him as the GOAT.
Exactly, yes.
Jordan is not the GOAT. So
our question is brought to you by the law office of Patrick O'Neill. For legal advice on workers' compensation, SSI, Social Security benefits, and more, call 606-666-2990 for a free consultation. And our question was, again, should the NBA change their logo to incorporate Kobe Bryant into it? 32% said no new Kobe logo. 68% say honor him another way. And
how do you feel?
Well, I think that there's got to be something to be done, and some of the comments, Tom Gross says, isn't the Hall of Fame honor enough? This is tragic, but it's a knee-jerk reaction. Do something, but not the logo change. His off-court activities are not considered in Hall of Fame NBA voting. Don Foster, who works with us, says the logo is fine. What happens when another superstar passes away? Leave the logo as is. And some other comments. Maddie Nicole Roquemore says absolutely yes. What he represented in the NBA as a man of morals and a wonderful father. He's a great role model. Jerry West has been the NBA logo for over 40 years. It shouldn't be looked at as a replacement, but more of this is the person who represents us. And I really like that. But here's my thinking of it. So I saw some people say, well, if somebody else was to pass away, should we change the logo for them after we change it for Kobe? It's not that he passed away. It's, first of all, how this happened. It's at the age. He's 41 years old. He's just retired 4 years ago. And I don't think he ever got to really live out the basketball dream of Kobe Bryant. Whether it was to be a coach or a front office executive or whatever the case may be, I don't feel like he ever got to live out what his actual future was going to be.
I disagree. I think that the Lakers need to do something. I don't think it needs to be the NBA.
Yeah. Well, listen, this is one of the top 3 or top 10 players of all time, depending on.
So when Jordan passes, are you going to do something for him?
Well,
or
that's
when
what I'm
James
saying.
Passes?
Jordan. It depends. The reason I think it's a different scenario is because of how it happened. It's a tragic incident. His daughter passed away with him. It's just the way it happened. If
Right.
he didn't pass away of old age. He didn't pass away battling a disease or something. It's a tragic helicopter accident.
Right.
And it's the day after he surpassed on the all-time scoring list by another greatest player of all time in LeBron James. And it's just, again, I don't think you can go wrong with whatever you do. And I think there's many different opinions on this. I just think that this would be one option that we could do. So,
I agree. Yeah. I think it's also going to bring back up people's feelings about leaving high school, going straight into the NBA.
I can see that,
Which is,
that could be happening very soon.
That could be happening very soon.
Yeah.
And we look back at all his numbers. He was 17 when he went into the NBA, the youngest player to ever play. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
That we think, because you and I can critique UK basketball all we want, and we keep saying they're 18.
Yeah.
And you think he was playing against
he
Shaquille.
was playing in the yeah.
Now,
It's crazy.
I even saw today where Shaquille's son posted.
Well, did you know that Kobe actually talked to Sharif yesterday morning, which is Shaquille O'Neal's son?
Right before
he got on the air helicopter, and just said, hey, if you need anything, I'm here. Who's transferring from UCLA? It's just there's a lot that goes into that, and I'm sure this will be a discussion for months and weeks and
I'm looking
maybe
forward
even
to
years.
finding out what happened.
Yeah.
I hate to say it because I don't want it to be true, but I really think that helicopter hit that mountain smack dab into it.
Yeah. Well,
and I can't imagine what those families, and the one family
lost 3 people.
that lost 3 people.
The father and then the 2 kids. So
Yes.
it's crazy. I can't imagine. I just can't imagine. Well, our Facebook poll is again brought to you by the Law Office of Patrick O'Neal. 32% say a new Kobe logo. 68% say honor him in another way. And Samantha, this is probably a record for us. 329 votes on this Kobe Bryant poll. So thank you for all the people that took part in that.
It.
On the Facebook poll.
It just
brought to
shows
you
how
by,
many people are touched by this.
Yeah. Again, our Facebook poll is brought to you by the Law Office of Patrick O'Neal. For legal advice on workers' compensation, SSI, Social Security benefits, and more, call 606-666-2990 for a free consultation. Patrick, he serves in Breathitt County, or his office is located in Breathitt County, but he serves all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. And again, for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990. Let's take another commercial break, Samantha. Our first commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by the EKU cheerleaders.
Happy news.
Coach Hamilton is here with her cheerleaders who have moved up from 8th in the nation to 3rd.
Yes.
Pretty big deal.
In 12 months.
Yeah,
what
that's a
about
pretty big
that?
deal.
That's a big deal.
We'll bring them
Happy
on
news.
when we come back here live at Buffalo Wild Wings on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Patrick O'Neal has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neal. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills. When you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neal. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Escape to sports with Buffalo Wild Wings. GM Tommy Martin invites you to come watch your favorite team play at Buffalo Wild Wings, the best game day atmosphere and happy hour in town. Menu items as low as $2 each weekday 2 to 7 and again 10 till close. Plus wing specials every Tuesday and Thursday. Don't forget to ask your server about the Blazing Rewards program and see how you can earn free food. Buffalo Wild Wings, Richmond Center.
Is everybody buckled in? I want to make sure you're buckled in. You're more important. Oh, guys, you're important too. Remember, everyone's important, so buckle up to and from the ball game. Come on, let's go.
We are back here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Michael Watkins, Samantha Burford. And Samantha, we are joined by the ladies of the EKU cheerleading team. Coach Hamilton here with us. And I was telling her a cool story about her husband, who is the boys basketball coach. By the way, they're playing pretty well right now, right?
They are. We haven't even talked about basketball yet.
No,
so
exactly. We're going to get into that.
Cheerleading first. Who'd have thought?
Exactly.
Who'd
And
have thought
listen,
you'd be talking cheerleading before basketball?
anytime you want to bring pretty ladies and put them around me, I will not complain, Samantha.
He's
okay?
not. He won't.
Well, let's talk about cheerleading and what this team has done. First, Coach, kind of go around the table here and tell us who you've got with us today.
Okay, this is Treva Park. She is one of my assistants. I have another one, Liz Hornsby, but she is out of town. One of our seniors, Hannah Sawyers. We have two. The other one couldn't make it. And this is Chloe Parks, which is Treva's daughter, and she cheers with us as well.
Oh, see, now she said she wasn't going to talk, but we're going to get her to talk.
Yeah,
all right?
she's a first year too, so you got a first year and a senior there.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. Now, where are you all from? Try it again.
Right there.
Somerset, okay. Now, did you go to Somerset? There's like 4 schools over there. Southwestern, okay. And where did you? Okay, did you go to GRC? Okay, see, that's cool. We got these local kids here, Samantha. We like to see that. Coach, just talk about this team and the change that you all made from last year to this year and the jump you all made from going from 8th in the nation to 3rd. Just kind of go into all that detail.
Speaking of where the girls are from, 18 out of the 20 that competed are from Kentucky.
Oh, wow.
Which was
cool.
super special. And our out-of-town girls, we love them too. But and then, so last year we got 8th. We were actually in 5th going into the second performance, but we had a couple mistakes. Young team last year, only 2 seniors and 2 juniors last year. So we were super young. So this year it was nice to have, I think 8 came back out of the 20, and then we just loaded up with a really, really good freshman class. Not everybody that is a first year is a freshman either.
Yeah.
Like Chloe's a sophomore, people transfer from other schools, but we took 33 this year instead of just taking 20s because of injuries, grades, et cetera, and it worked out well for us. So we had more people to work with.
Talk about that process. Now, do you have tryouts? Do you already have in mind as to how many people you're going to have on the team? How does that all work?
Yeah, so we have tryouts in May. It's just like a 2-day thing. All girl and co-ed. We have a co-ed team as well.
I was getting ready to say that. They have both teams.
Yes, too. And so all girl competes with 20, co-ed competes with 16. So last year that's all we had. So we were like, no, we're not doing that again this year. We're going to take more. Whoever deserves to be on the team, that's who should be on the team. And then we'll go with there. So all girl, we actually took 34, right? Mm-hmm. And then 20 compete, and then co-ed took 24 and 16 compete. So the games looked better. There were more people at community service events. Yeah. It was good.
A lot of people may not realize that you have a young one at home, and you're doing cheerleading in that aspect too. Tell us a little bit about that.
We have 3.
You're busy.
So we have a 5-year-old, 4-year-old, and then a 6-month-old. I actually had the baby after tryouts, in between tryouts and camp.
You fit that in somewhere.
Yeah, we just threw that in there. And then, but for camp, I had her and my other assistant. He was 4 weeks old. He came with us. We stayed in a hotel and just passed him around. 2
I'd
days.
say you had a lot of helpers.
Yes.
A lot of helpers wanting to hold him.
Yes, so that was nice. But 2 days were harder because he's more mobile and he stays awake longer. Now he was 6 months old when we started, and we went from January 15th through December 15th through January 15th, I guess, is when we left. So a full month of 2-a-days every day. So between babysitters and friends and assistants and alternates and everybody else that helped out.
See, a lot of people don't realize they just see you guys at the ball games. They don't realize sometimes that you're doing all these community service events and that two-a-days, just like the basketball team or the football team. Tell us what that consists of and explain to people that may not understand. Cheerleading is not your cheerleading back in the day.
Correct.
It's very different now.
Correct. So our first part of the season is focused on games and football, and then the second part of the season is consisted for basketball, so that we cram a whole cheer season into 5 weeks. Everybody else goes home for Christmas break. They do not. So they have to stay, which it's worth it if this happens. And it's always worth it because of the bonding and everything else. But right when those finals are done, we start two-a-days. And last year we gave them like 7 or 8 days for Christmas break, and we decided that it's just too long. It's too long of a break to give them to go sit at home and eat whatever. Yes. And so we did 4 days this year. And we were back right at it. With New Year's Eve, we practiced on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, the whole shebang.
Well, when you have, so your husband's the boys' coach, do you all communicate as far as, you know, maybe the
I need
bigger
the gym
games?
this day,
or yeah, I mean, whatever it is. I mean, how does that go as far as,
One time, I got scheduled for alumni, and he forgot to put his schedule in.
Uh-oh.
So we actually had the main court during one of their practice times, but they gave it to me, so they were fair. They didn't trump me.
Did he make you sleep on the couch that night, or was everything all right?
He was mad, but he'll get over it. But no,
he never does that again.
Right, exactly.
He'll be
He's
like,
on his stuff now.
Yeah, I got to fill out the process.
Can we get you all to make a video? Now, listen, I saw the Family Matters video.
That was good.
Oh,
It was so good.
And this is the. I probably watched it 15 times. First of all, I like the song. You know, I like some Family Matters back in the day, but it was just, you know, knowing Coach and knowing Michael Moreno and Isaiah Mentor and some of the kids on the team. But it was just cool to see the video, and I no joke, I probably watched it 15 times. Everybody's at work like, will you just please just stop watching it? Because I had it on, you know, on the computer, on my phone, whatever.
Then you became a stalker.
I mean, I wouldn't know, Samantha. Quit, you know, but
you athletic stalker.
it's just, I think it's cool that you've got this platform to do stuff like that on. So. And social media allows you to kind of just go out there and have fun. TikTok and all this other stuff. You see people doing stuff like that now. So whenever you have your team, do you maybe tell them, hey, go do stuff like that, create some bonding or create some memories, and that kind of helps promote the program as well?
It does, and it helps with the camaraderie of the team. I swear, after that video came out, we started winning of that family.
There you go, yeah.
So maybe people should do that more often. But no, the girls, we even did a little girls' birthday party in between games.
Okay.
So we cheered the women's game and then had a birthday party for a 3-year-old. That's what she asked for her birthday. So we all came upstairs and hung out with like 15 3-year-olds, and it was really special. But it's good for them because they don't understand yet because they're still young.
Yeah.
But how much you can really like do in somebody's life it was an hour long, and that made her entire day for her birthday. Yeah.
That would make my day.
Right?
Like, I didn't know you could ask for that for your birthday.
I'm literally, trust me, I'm in the process right now of planning a 3-year-old girl birthday party.
There you go.
And I got to order frozen cupcakes, and I've got to find princesses to be there, and it's, you know, it's kind of.
You're like,
so
all right.
if y'all want to dress up as Elsa or Anna, let me know. I've got a job for you. Okay.
Well, tell everyone about your routine taking it to nationals, what it consists of.
So the way the college routine is set up, it is 1:45 of music and then 45 seconds of a cheer, but you put the cheer in between. So they did like 50 seconds music, then cheer, then music again. You just cram it all in. You used to be able to do dance and jumps, and they don't do that anymore.
Right.
So it's strictly tumbling and stunts, and then we break off to a cheer and then back to the music portion. In college, it's also pyramids that are 3 people high instead of just high school where you just see them holding the one person up. So there's a lot of falling during two-a-days and injuries. We had concussions, we had twisted ankles, but we found a routine that worked for us, and we didn't try to go as hard as we can, and we didn't want to go too easy. And
that's a difficult balance, isn't it?
It is.
To find stunting that's you can get the right partners, but something that everyone can do and nail it.
Yes, and we do it so many times that last year we never hit before we went to Florida. It was always one little thing. So you can't change it because it's something different every time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we were so close. And then I don't even remember what date it was, but we hit our first full out, and then it was like, oh, we got number 1, and then we hit our second, and then third, and then it started rolling where their confidence started building and thinking, let's see how many times we can hit before we leave. And we did it 8 times before we left, which is a really big deal. So, and then we did 9 and 10.
I can't imagine how in shape they are to do that.
I really
type of
can't either
routine.
because I could not.
I would be huffing and puffing.
And they don't like it. They like during it, they're like again, but I mean, when they get to Florida, and one girl said, "Does she ever give a water break?" And I'm like, I didn't even realize you were thirsty.
But the water hose and spray 'em down,
Just raise your hand.
Yes, and we have a quiet team. Like when we are coaching them, they're not very mouthy or anything.
Okay, that's a good thing.
That is, but it's all like in each other's ear. Like she never gives us water, so I never hear it, and then you just hear it
then
after.
You see it on Twitter the next day. Our coach never gives us water.
I'm like, you never said you were thirsty.
Coach Parks, so kind of tell what your role is here with the team. Obviously, with Coach Hamilton being the head coach, you all have to have a pretty good understanding of what the other one wants. So kind of talk about your role and then what it's like having your daughter on the team as well.
Well, this is the second go-around we've had. I've had her once in high school, so it's been a pleasure, really, to have her on here. But for us, we've known each other, and we have a past, and we've all been in the cheer world for a lot of time. So I know and trust her, and she did the routine. Now, she may not boast about herself, but a lot of times we have choreographers that come in and do this routine, and you pay them money. And Chelsea put this routine out.
It was
her brainchild.
Yes, she did.
We all help, and we're all on board. But her role is to like be out front, do this, and then a lot of times Liz and I are the ones that the girls don't like because we're the nitpickers.
Okay.
I tell them all the time, like, you may hit that routine and it's never perfect, but it may be perfect. We'll still find something because you're constantly
That's what
wanting.
coaches do, though. I mean,
Constantly
even
improving.
like,
Absolutely.
I'm sure Coach, if the boys team goes up there and wins by 20, there's probably 3 or 4 things he could say, well, we need to improve
For
on
sure.
this, and this. So
Absolutely.
I think it's just a part of coaching.
That's a life lesson. That's
Yes.
what I tell them all the time. So many things that you do in cheer is such a life lesson because you're always improving. You're never arrived. You're never there. You're always going to be growing. So what can you do to be better the next time?
Do you all recruit? I mean, do you have a recruiting period? Like, I don't know if in football and basketball you have a certain amount of time where you're allowed to recruit players. Do you all do that at any point throughout the year, or do you all just, like, how does that work for EKU cheerleading?
Technically, we're not under the NCAA, so
Okay.
we don't have like that recruiting time period. Obviously, with our win in Florida, we have a lot of people that are now reaching out a little bit more. And just like we've done for years past, anybody that's been in the cheer world and has kids that have cheered, I know my daughter and I have watched for years. You watch national championships and you're looking for colleges, and you want to go to the college you like, but you're also like, if I want to cheer, who's winning? Who's up in the top 3 or 4? So we knew that if us being in that top 3 this year was going to make a difference. So we've got a lot of people that are reaching out and looking, and so we're considering going to high school nationals and kind of wearing some EKU gear and
There you
making
go.
ourselves
you know
ourselves
what?
available to anybody who may want to talk to us.
That's a great, and it's not so many people know Moorhead and know UK. Guess what? There's somebody.
Here we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
So your goal obviously had to be let's beat 8th place last year.
For
now
sure.
what will be the goal for this next year?
We
Both
just really
co-ed,
we talked
everybody?
about this in the beginning. Like, if we don't win, that's fine. But I didn't want to practice for top 5 or top 3. Like, I want them to practice as if they want to win. Because then you're wasting what if. If we practice a little bit harder. So I practiced them as if we were trying to win. And third, wonderful. I mean, we were so excited.
Yes.
But I didn't want to only give them my 3rd place mentality. I wanted to, if we work hard enough, it is possible for you to win because it's cheerleading, and anything can happen that day in semis or in finals. So yeah, I think it's great that, and I even told her before we left, you could start a legacy here. This is your last year, and if we do well, people are going to remember this year, and I think that happened.
Oh, I think everyone's going to remember this year. I will. And we'll let me say this before we talk to the girls.
Okay.
I have 3 daughters. Dance, cheer, they love it all. And then when you add me into the mix and we're all 4 at different phones or computers, I had to buy 2 subscriptions because only 2 people can watch off 1 subscription.
I know.
So literally I'm paying for 2. So we watched all weekend between
awesome.
the dance and cheer. I watched I watched every routine.
Samantha, I don't.
Their music messed up. We didn't talk about that.
Co-eds did mess up.
Yes.
Yes, and they let them go again, which was
Unheard of.
unheard of.
And
But because
awesome.
he had stepped away from the table, we think, to watch his team, the assistant, it was just a glitch in their system. So it was kind of on them. And they let them go again, which we were very grateful for.
Yes,
Well,
and they did
How do you all
great.
do the music
Yes.
now? I mean, it used to be a CDs, or it's still on CDs
That's
now?
what's
or?
nerve-wracking because
Yeah.
I wish it was on a CD or a cassette because I'll roll with that. Everything is on your phone, and
Yeah.
it's put it on airplane mode, then on this mode, and then turn it up. And you're not allowed to have alternates push play. You have to have a responsible adult push play. I'm like, I don't know any responsible adults.
And you're like, I want to be over there
Exactly.
watching. I don't
And
want
so-
to be by the
Yeah.
receiver.
in all girls arena, it's 15 rows up, like by itself. And I'm like, I don't want to push play up there. So we actually had my younger brother push play.
Is he a responsible adult? Or
God, I mean,
closest
not
one to
trained
you?
well.
We trained him well.
and threatened him.
We did for days. We trained him like to do it right. He did great. And he was
That's too much
nervous.
pressure.
He was
Listen,
sweating
I
on
do
the
not
way
want
up
to
there
make.
the
I don't
first
want to make
time.
one woman mad, let alone. So,
Oh,
So was he freaking out when the music
and the
messed
girls
up?
were all. It was
Oh,
co-ed,
it
so
was
it
for
wasn't
co-ed.
ours.
It wasn't all
Okay,
girl.
okay,
No.
okay.
Yeah, so we were like, thank goodness, because it did happen to one of us, and he was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad it wasn't me. I'm like, me too.
Okay. Oh, wow.
he would have been taken off the Christmas list for next
Yes.
year. So, just keep that out of the way.
Not going back to national.
Yeah. Well, let's talk to you ladies. First of all, talk about, so obviously the nationals thing is a big deal, but other than that, what has been your favorite moment of being a cheerleader at EKU?
Hold the mic up for us. There
we
you
go.
Probably getting to cheer football and basketball games, just getting out there and supporting other teams has been really fun. And my time here, I've been able to go to UK and cheer there. I went to the Marshall game one year, and just being in those atmospheres is very fun.
Well, it's been a good year this year. Normally during football season it's a little bit cold, but this year it was warm all season long. So to talk about the difference between maybe cheering for football and then cheering for basketball.
Well, football is much longer.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
So you do get a little more tired, your feet start to hurt. But we do more cheerleading with football where we're outside on the turf. We can build pyramids and more slides. As we're on at basketball, we're just kind of on the side there, and when we're on the gym floor, we can't do as much.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's talk to you again. And so I know you don't want to talk to us a whole lot, but with your mom being on the coaching staff, is there no way you could talk to her and say, hey, we need to drink of water, tell Coach Hamilton. Can you not do that and get y'all hooked up? Okay. There you go. What does it mean to you? So obviously going to GRC, you're right up the road in Winchester, to be now cheering here at EKU. Does that, it gives you a little bit of a hometown vibe or a hometown feel. Does that mean a little bit more to you, that you're that close to home and maybe seeing some familiar faces up in the crowd or different things like that?
Yeah, I wanted to get away a little farther away, but then I took like a year off. I went to BCT for my true freshman, and then Chelsea came back, and I've known Chelsea, so I was like, okay, like that's closer to home for me. And then my mom started going into it, and then I like we took clinics, and I was like, I like the one we live like this.
Yeah.
It's like everyone wants to be good, like everyone wants to be like
What's your major?
special education.
Okay, all right.
So did you go a whole year without cheering?
Yeah, I went like a couple months,
Wow.
almost a year, and then I cheered at a little all-star gym in Matrix to get back.
Yes.
That's what I was going to ask. Because listen, I can go, I can go play basketball 2 or 3 times during a week and then take a month off, and I can't go up and down the floor one time. So how do you take a year off? And don't rub it in like that, because how do you take a year off and then still come out and do it and get
She
back
was
in shape
18.
like that?
Yeah,
That's true.
Lots
That's
of
true.
whining.
Yeah.
I came back and I was like, oh my gosh, I was sore like 3 days. I was like, I gotta get back in shape for like Charlotte. So I was like, I'll just do this for a couple months. And still, I mean, even like 2 days, I was like, I thought I was in shape, but I was like doing it over and over again. But it's okay.
Well, you being a sophomore, so now you kind of seen what it takes to get third. Next year you'll have a little bit more experience. What are you going to try to tell the newcomers or your teammates that you want to try to do to come up?
Absolutely, work is worth it. Like, you just have to work hard, do your best, and like, I know it's hard, but like, just talk to each other and been to nationals.
high school nationals, world summit, but this was my first year making it to finals ever. So I was like, it was a big deal for me, and I was like, that makes me want to go back next year like stronger and harder, try to get a couple more spots up.
How nervous were you?
Not that nervous. I was actually more nervous in finals than I was in semis.
Of
like
course.
backstage, yeah. So I was like, guys, I mean, I've competed like thousands of times, but
Right.
this time, like finals, I was like, oh, this is the first time in finals. I got a hit. Like I'm just nervous. So, but it was good.
Did you see, I mean, okay, this is not meaning to be gross, but did you see people like getting sick or, because you know some people get sick or before or after the routine?
One of my girls in my stunt group, she gets very nervous, like literally like pale face, and she was like we thought she was gonna go down backstage, and then she was like, no, it's fine, it happens, but then she pulled it together and she was good.
That's good. I want to ask you, so what's your major? Do you?
My major is chemistry with a concentration in pre-pharmacy.
Oh my God, that sounds hard even saying it.
Yeah, it is.
See, I went to broadcasting and I like to talk, so I thought that was a good combination. But so, what do you like? What are your future plans next? You're a senior. Do you want to stay involved with cheerleading? Or are you just looking to, are you going to try to get a job? What's the plan for you after?
I joke with Chelsea a lot that I'm going to be the assistant manager,
Okay, there you go.
and our other senior is going to be the manager.
The assistant to the assistant.
Yes. Because this makes my 16th year cheering, and like it's a part of my life.
Yeah.
I don't think I could ever fully get out of it. So,
Samantha, it's a long time to be doing
16
something.
years. That's impressive.
Yeah.
So tell us well, he already asked you your most memorable moment, but is there something like a stunt or does everybody do standing back tucks and they're all, I mean, do you ever fall? That's
yes.
Like, I want to know
Hannah
the
goes-
bad moments.
Hannah's the tippy, so she's
Yeah.
all the way on the top of the pyramids.
And there has been times where I've been on the very
Yeah,
top,
very top.
go to the very bottom
Quickly.
But then like,
Do they even try to catch you?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, but sometimes you're just so
and you're
you're so
hanging.
shocked that they're like, oh, there she is. She's already gone. Whoops. But like, it's my 4th year doing this, and like, eventually you just get so used to it, you just pop right back up and be like, let's just do it again.
Literally.
So you've been there before, Chelsea.
I have.
So
yes.
how explain the difference?
Well, it's a little more organized. I don't know.
She's
and
trying
I
to
feel
be
like,
politically correct.
Yeah, she is. And I don't mean
Don't
for
wanna
you to
get her
say
in
anything
trouble.
bad. We're
don't
both
say
not
anything
to
too
say
mean.
anything bad. I just mean, has it been equally tough? Has it been,
I say in the past it's been a lot more rough because even like this year we only had 8 returners. In the past, like it's been like 3 or 4. So we had to literally like rebuild every year, and it just kept getting harder and harder. And I know my sophomore year we didn't even make it to finals. Like we didn't even make it out of semis. And so from going from that, ending my senior year with 3rd place, I couldn't ask for anything better.
Well, Coach, before we let you all go, is there a place people can go? Obviously, you see Twitter and Facebook. Is there a place people can go to keep up to date with the cheerleading team and maybe get some updates? Just whenever you all do these community events, where they can go and find you all at?
Yeah, we do. We have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of it. Our Twitter handle is just EKU Cheerleading. Yep, and it looks just like it has the power E like the rest of the sports, and at EKU. EKU Cheerleading for Instagram too and Facebook. But yeah, we try to do as much as we can around the community because it's just nice to get our name out there and help out when we can.
Well, one thing that they do here a lot is fundraisers here at Buffalo Wild Wings. Anytime y'all want to try to get that set up, I mean, let us know if you all want to do a fundraiser here. We could come over and maybe do a broadcast from it or promote it on the show, anything like that. They'll be glad to help you out. We'd be glad to help you out to promote it.
Thank
and
you.
stuff. So,
Thank you.
I really appreciate
Tell Coach
it.
I said, hey. All right?
I will.
I need to catch a game. It's just I got a
Thursday.
I got
got a
3-week-old
newborn.
at home, so it's been
3 weeks?
Yeah,
3 weeks?
Yeah, New Year's Eve he was
Goodness, you
born.
better get home.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we've had between Christmas and New Year's and baby, and we do a lot of local basketball games ourselves, so it's been hard for me to be home and be working at the same time.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm gonna try to get out there and catch a game again soon. But
Awesome.
But the Colonels are back in action. They got 2 home games this week.
That's
They've won,
right,
I think,
2.
4 out of the last
4.
5 on the road.
Yep, 6
So-
and 2.
So the
and 2.
Colonels playing very good right now
Great
in the
in the
OVC.
OVC,
Yeah.
yes.
So I think it's Jacksonville State they just beat over the weekend,
Yep,
and
I wrote it
got some
down.
big games coming up. So
And
get out
Tennessee
there.
Tech.
Tennessee Tech.
Yep.
And actually, I talked to Rachel this morning or today about some of the events going on at the games this week.
They're playing UT Martin and
So at
Southeast
UT
Missouri
Martin
coming
at
up.
5 p.m. on Thursday. It's the free pink T-shirts while supplies last. If you wear pink to honor Breast Cancer Awareness Survivors. So that's going on Thursday. And then on Saturday,
that's kind of cool because usually that only happens in October. So that's kind of cool.
So they've got on Saturday the post-game autograph session, and you can meet that's after the women's game. And then after the men's game, you can meet the baseball and softball teams and poster signing. So all that's coming up this week at EKU with the men's and women's teams in action on Thursday versus UT Martin, and then on Saturday versus SEMO back in OVC Place. So it's some big games coming up. Get out there and support the Colonels. And then next week, we will have Coach Edwin Thompson on the show with us talking EKU baseball.
Baseball. Who'd have thought? It's almost baseball time.
We have not had winter yet, so I'm hoping that
we just go into spring.
Exactly, because for Coach Thompson's sake, if we go from it not being cold yet to being cold right when baseball season starts, there's going to be nobody in the crowd. It's going to be very tough to get them out there to watch the EKU baseball games with the cold weather. So. But thank you all for coming on with us. We appreciate it. Again, tell Coach I said hey.
Congratulations. Thank you. So excited.
Anytime y'all got something going on that we can help promote, feel free to reach out to us.
Yeah, reach right out to us.
Thanks,
y'all. That is the EKU Cheerleading team. You can follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We'll take another commercial break when we come back. EKU basketball with some big wins over the weekend. We'll talk about that. And Jamaru Brown, this man is killing it right now. We'll talk about him when we come back on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Escape to sports with Buffalo Wild Wings. GM Tommy Martin invites you to come watch your favorite team play at Buffalo Wild Wings. The best game day atmosphere and happy hour in town. Menu items as low as $2 each weekday 2 to 7 and again 10 till close. Plus wing specials every Tuesday and Thursday. Don't forget to ask your server about the Blazing Rewards program and see how you can earn free food. Buffalo Wild Wings, Richmond Center.
Is everybody buckled in? I want to make sure you're buckled in. You're more important. Oh, guys, you're important too. Remember, everyone's important, so buckle up to and from the ball game. Come on, let's go.
The Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Samantha Burford, Michael Watkins here with you. And Samantha, again, it has been a very exciting week for all of our local teams. They're back in action tonight. Madison Central and Southern both have games today. The Madison Central girls are playing right now at home. The boys will play later on tonight. And Southern is in action as well this evening. So for us, it's a busy week. Tomorrow, we have got Estill County, Wolfe County, a huge matchup in the 14th region. That'll take place on tomorrow night. I'll be there with Danny Wood on the call for that one as the Engineers.
You're coming to Estill County.
Engineers take on Wolfe County. I like that. Wolfe County was my biggest rival in high school. So to be able to call a game for them with them in Estill County should be a fun evening tomorrow over in Irving. You can watch that game on WBON. On Wednesday, we will be back over in Berea for middle school boys basketball action between Ferristown and Foley. They got us a couple of sponsors, so Jamie Boggs and Tom Gross will have the call for you on Wednesday as the two middle schools over in Berea, Ferristown and Foley, square off. Then on Friday, we've got a triple header, basically. We've got one radio game and two WBON TV games. That's a big game between Berea and Model, girls and boys. And how about the girls from Model? A school record 15 wins over the weekend. Candace Wells and her team will be on the show with us next week, but they will be in action on Friday, taking on a Berea team that just came off winning the 11th Region All-A Classic Championship. Lost in the first round of the All-A Classic State Tournament, but they're going to be back in action on Friday.
Very similar to last year.
It'll be a fun game, and that girls and boys game on Friday, both those games should be a lot of fun.
And we'll be where?
That'll be at Model, and then
Model.
Madison Central.
We've never done a game.
Never done a game at Model, so we're hoping that we can get that worked out. I've talked to Coach Morgerson. We want to be over there tomorrow, probably making sure the internet and everything's good for us to be able to go over there and stream.
We don't need glitches
on Friday night, and then we'll also have Madison Central and Trinity on radio on Friday evening as well. So it'll be a busy week.
Big
and then
sports night.
back in Berea on Saturday for Madison Southern and Great Crossing. So it's a busy week for us, and excited to get back at it after having kind of a week off with the All-A Classic.
Right, and most people know Great Crossing is that new school in Scott
and
County.
they're playing very well
high
right
school.
now.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it'll be an exciting game.
Speaking of exciting games, EKU's Jamaru Brown was named the
What
Ohio
about
Valley
him?
Conference Player of the Week by College Sports Madness on Monday. This kid's been on fire. He's averaged 27.5 points, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, and 1.5 assists per game over a pair of EKU road wins last week. And he knocked down a career-high 6 3-pointers and finished with 31 points to lead the Colonels to an 80-74 win over Tennessee Tech on Saturday night in Cooksville. He went for 24 points, 2 assists, and 2 steals in the victory at Jacksonville State on Thursday. And the native of Raleigh, North Carolina, shot 58.3% from deep, 92% from the free throw line, and has now scored more than 20 points in 6 consecutive games. He leads the OVC in scoring during league play at 23.6 points per game. And again, EKU back in action this week with games versus UT Martin and SEMO this week.
Both at home.
And listen, if you have not watched this team play, I know the crowd's not been as good as it was last year.
Yeah.
This team is 6-2 in OVC play.
I know.
And they need your support. Get out there, cheer on Coach Hamilton, cheer on the cheerleaders.
They've got some great videos on Twitter, too, of the water. They're getting Coach Hamilton.
I think that's cool. Like, this team celebrates because they have fun, and they want to win, and they want it to be a big deal when they win.
I think that's a lot of Coach Hamilton.
Yeah, I do, too. This guy, he's so much fun to be around.
He is so much fun. And when he sits here and talks to us on our sports show, you're just engaged in what he has to say. And it's impressive, and these young athletes feel the same.
If you've not seen the video, the Family Matters video,
it's
go
great.
over and check that out. You can go on EKU Hoops on Twitter or Instagram. You can
or
watch the
EKU
video.
Athletics.
And to me, it just goes to show you the personality of not only Coach Hamilton, but the players as well and the coaching staff. And they have fun, and they want to be successful, but they know they want to go out there and they want to have fun. They want to win. And I think it just kind of goes to show you the personality of all these guys that are playing and are involved in the EKU athletics program. Now Matt Rohn, who was just hired as the director of athletics. So it's a lot going on at EKU right now. But I think
really is.
This Colonels basketball team, very dangerous. Belmont may be the team to beat in the OVC. Them and Murray State playing very well. But if Jamaru Brown can keep playing the way that he's playing, and this team can find a couple of other players to pitch in and drop some points, I think they've got a shot to win the OVC this year.
Yeah, how exciting is it? And you know what? Their season didn't start off the way they wanted,
Yeah,
obviously.
well, you had so many road games. Between, I think, the end of
they were gone for a month.
But I think early December to early January, they were on the road for literally a month.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it felt weird around here because we didn't really talk about the team playing or promote
Especially
games
when they're
coming
losing,
up.
we don't really talk about it. Those road wins that they've had in the OVC have been extremely important, and I think they're just going to keep building on this success.
Yeah, and I think when you look at this team, they're young too. So to have this success right now is really good for the future of EKU basketball. Speaking of basketball, Kentucky had a big win as well over the weekend against Texas Tech. And
how bad was my blood pressure?
Well,
it was terrible. I watched the game in silent on my phone like this at a dance competition, volume turned off. And then I was like, what are they doing? Are they looking at the time clock? What? Really, how bad were some of those officiating calls?
Listen, when you're a fan of a team, you're always going to complain about the officiating.
No.
You can't always
This one
get it
has
right.
to be bad.
It's been bad a lot. If you look at the Arkansas game, the South Carolina game, but I think it's, again, when you're a fan of a team, you always will disagree with calls.
Charge up for Maxey.
Yeah. And the fifth foul, which is kind of a ghostly call. We thought he had 4 fouls. They say he has 5. So
right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a very weird year for college basketball because there's so many teams that have had the number 1 spot in the rankings, and I really feel like this year could be a year that an unknown wins it. San Diego State's playing very well. Baylor, they're playing very well. And not that those teams are unknowns, but they're kind of teams that are not your common
Kansas
blue bloods, or Kentucky, or
West
North
Virginia,
Carolina, those kind of teams. So I think it's interesting to see teams like that kind of come out of nowhere to have the success that they're having. Even Michigan, they're not ranked anymore, but at one time they went from unranked to the top 5 and out of nowhere. So It's just, I think it goes to show you the parity in college basketball right now is there, which makes it very fun for sports fans.
No, what's fun for sports fans like me is enjoying watching the Kansas State game.
Oh, the Five? Do you like that?
Yes.
What about the Little Whitney transfer?
No, I don't. Oh,
Yeah.
Listen. Okay. We could talk for an hour on that,
Yeah.
but in a
It doesn't surprise me.
2-minute, why?
Yeah.
Why right now? You know he's got family members in his ear. Apparently, I heard on the radio today, his parents showed up to move him. They hadn't talked to
Really?
the coach or anybody.
Yeah.
And I thought it was extremely classy what Whitley put out.
Mhm.
I thought it was extremely classy what Coach Cal put out.
Well, I think that it just goes to show you that no matter who these kids are, no matter how good they are in high school, it does not mean they are going to pan out in college.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, so.
Now, who's to say he's not going to do great things at another team?
Yeah.
He might.
He may go straight to the NBA as well. Illinois is where he's from. He may go play there.
Why wouldn't you sit out and play the rest of this season, even if you're on the bench?
I don't
Why
know.
wouldn't you?
Because it looks bad on him trying to go to the NBA. It's just weird. It's weird. It's a weird situation.
But you're going to keep getting better going up against
Some of these guys in practice,
some of
yeah.
these Maxey and Sestina and Quickly. I mean, well, now what are you going to do? Sit
I
at
don't know.
home and
We'll
practice
find out.
in
This
your
is a-
own gym?
This is a very weird situation for him to be in. So I don't know what his plans are.
He's gonna
but
be
from
out
what
of
I've
shape.
heard, he may just train and try to go straight to the NBA now after this season. So we'll see
Good
what
luck
happens.
to him.
Yeah.
I mean, we said it last week. I'd like to see him go straight to the portal.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was going to be 2 days later.
Well, we do want to say thank you to all of our great sponsors. Obviously, Buffalo Wild Wings got some cool stuff coming up with the Super Bowl this week and
Yeah.
the Tyson Fury
How
Wilder
cool
fight.
will this place be? It'll be packed for the
Oh, yeah.
Super Bowl.
Have you got a prediction?
I think Kansas City.
Yeah, I think Kansas City wins. I'm going to say
But I'm going to root for the 49ers.
I'm going to say 38-34 Kansas City wins. I think it'll be a high-scoring game. I'm going to say 38-34 Kansas City.
And let's root for overtime.
Yes, because then we all get free snack wings
That's
at
right.
Buffalo
I'm
Wild
all
Wings.
about the free
We
wings.
also want to say thank you to Jack Burford Chevrolet. We were there last week. They're always a great sponsor for us. Got some great deals going on right now. If you're looking for a new-to-you Chevy or a new Chevrolet that's the new stock just coming out, new
Yeah.
stock Chevrolets.
Oh,
Check
that
out Jack.
Corvette's going to be out this spring.
Yeah.
Cannot wait.
Yeah, save up your money for that, folks. Okay.
Maybe we can sit in it to do the show.
We've talked about that before, but it's just I feel like with all the equipment that we have, it'll be hard to kind
Yeah,
of
we don't
squeeze
want to
everything
tear
in there.
anything up. I don't think he'll let us even sit in it.
Yeah, you're probably right. Because I might hit the gas, and then Lord knows where we'll end up. But check out JackBurford.com for all the greatest deals or all the latest deals at Jack Burford Chevrolet. For Samantha Burford and myself, Michael Watkins, our TV producer Austin Hanks, our radio producer Jaden Johnson. Have a great week, folks. We're going to be busy. We'll be everywhere this week. Estill
will.
County, Madison Central, Southern, Berea Model, all the teams in action this week on WEKY, WIRV,
voting.
all of our radio stations, and on WBONTV.com.
Yeah, keep voting
and
on our
again,
poll.
Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. It's still a sad situation. The NBA just announced they're going to be postponing
Posting the game.
the Lakers-Clippers game that was scheduled for tomorrow, and we'll see when that game is rescheduled. But it's a sad time right now to be a sports fan. So as we go off the air, have a good week, everybody. Hug
Love
those
your
ones that are
family.
tight to you, and enjoy the time that you have with your loved ones. From all of us, have a great week at WBONTV.com.